right. Alrighty. See, everybody can see me. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? I'm Brother Prater. Um, as y'all can tell, I'm live, but I'm gonna I'm going to give it a few minutes. I want to make sure for those who are trying to come on, I want to make sure that they're able to come on and I can get a chance to share with y'all what I want to say. Um, I hope y'all had a good day. Matter of fact, I want to make sure I cut off my phone. So, okay. Yeah. Today was a good day. I ended up going to work, but other than that, it was a good day. And I'm pretty sure the talk of the town was not about me. The talk of the town was about Cat Williams. Everybody and their dog talking about Cat Williams when he was on the Shannon Sharpe show. But I want to come on here and I'm not going to keep y'all hostage. But I want to come on here. I want to first tell each and every one of you all who contact me, text, called, just even verbally, visually, for you all to tell me, some beautiful words, not just for today being the anniversary of my employment at the Dallas County Sheriff Department, but also even with the acknowledgement I received with the Vorich Dallas. I was very, very, very honored. And one of the things I always tell people, if you be faithful over a few things, God will make you rule over many. And for you to be faithful and do whatever you can, do it with all your heart. But most importantly, do it unto God. And I thank God for them even reaching out to me and the recommendation that came to me. I'm very, very, very honored. So, with that being said, for those who are chiming in now, how y'all doing? I'm gonna give a few more seconds. Let me see if I can do this right quick. Okay. All right. So, that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and start on. Oh, my man, Terrence Weasel Smith. How you doing, man? First of all, like I said, I'm very honored, and I'm gonna try to make it real short. But I want to say that today, it wasn't my doing that allowed me to be able to celebrate today, to be here, even be employed with Dallas County for 30 years. It was only the grace of God. To be honest with you, and I wanted to make sure not just to come on here to say, thank you and to acknowledge each and every one of y'all, but even kind of give y'all the backstory. I don't remember if I've shared it with the masses. Most of the time, whenever I do some speaking engagements, I may share it with some people because I wanted to make sure that if it could be a blessing to someone, that they receive it and they know that God can use anyone. But first and foremost, I did not want to work at the Sheriff Department at first. I wanted to work at TCI Cable Company. This was back in the early 90s. Actually, ever since 89, 90, 91, I wanted to work at TCI Cable Company. TCI Cable Company, the employees would get free cable and then half off on pay-per-views. Everybody that really knows me know that I wanted to be a professional wrestler. So what I was going to do, I was going to work at TC. I wanted to work at TCI Cable Company, save up my money to pay for my wrestling camp to get my wrestling license, and then I was gonna go and move to Atlanta, Georgia, to wrestle with Sting at WCW. It's World Championship Wrestling. Like I said, this is back in the 90s. And so, long story short, I used to travel every Wednesday from Oak Cliff to Mesquite every Wednesday for 6 months. I was very, very, very consistent. Every Wednesday I did that for 6 months. I would go to TCI Cable Company's office, give me an application, fill out the application, and I was told who the manager was, and I got a chance to meet him one time. And what I would do, I would get the application, fill it out, and on the top put attention David Snow. That was his name. Attention David Snow. And I did that for 6 months. And meanwhile, my cousin worked at the sheriff's department. And she gave me an application, and I didn't hear anything the first time. So I was like, well, they don't want me. And so, long story short, she gave me another application, and that second application stayed in my car for about a year. And eventually, I went on and filled it out. And so, first thing was me waiting to hear from TCI Cable Company. I haven't heard anything yet. And so, meanwhile, like I said, I wanted to wrestle. And so the first thing was, I believe it was back in 91 or 92, one or the other. I kept hearing this small little voice. I don't want you to wrestle. I got other plans for you. And at first I'm like, well, am I being paranoid or what? And so I just kind of dismissed it. Kept on working out, and for me to be able to, and I found the wrestling school I was going to go to. And so with that wrestling school, they were going to be able to help me get my wrestling license. The only thing was they were not going to help me with gaining weight or with my weight. To get my wrestling license, you have to be 200 pounds or more. Well, I was already at the time, coming out of high school and everything, I was already at 198. So 2 more pounds and going into wrestling camp, and it was going to be between 9 months to 2 years. 18 months to 2 years, one or the other. So I was like, man, I'm fine. I can gain 2 pounds to graduate or whatever, So, and also, what I really hadn't shared with a lot of people was I found a weight trainer. And the weight trainer was someone that was very well known for those who were in the Dallas area that was wrestling fans. The person that was over the weight program, it was Doug's Gym in downtown Dallas. And when I went there, a lot of the wrestlers would go and work out. And also for me to get a chance to talk to him, I was in his office several times, and he even gave me the encouragement, hey, look here, I can do this for you. I can do this and do that. And he also told me one of his proud proteges that he helped to bulk up and everything. And it was the wrestler we know as Bruiser Brody. Bruiser Brody, one of my all-time favorite guys. But long story short, and meanwhile, like I was saying, I was filling out my application for TCI Cable Company and filling out the second application for the sheriff department. And so, like I said, in the meanwhile, I heard that voice tell me not to wrestle. I'm like, I dismissed it. So the next year, I heard that voice again. I don't want you to wrestle. I have other plans for you. This time I recognized it was God. And he began to tell me specific things about why he did not want me to wrestle. And I was like, wow. And so now the scene sets where he told me to trust him with my life. And God and I were at a poker table. And those that, even in the Bible, I say it like this, even in the Bible has a lot of metaphors. So what I'm giving you is a metaphor, but it was actually a vision that actually happened. So I don't want y'all to think, oh, God wasn't gambling. No, I want you to understand. And this actually, like I said, this happened in 1992 or 1993. And so God told me to trust him with my plans. And so now God and I are at a poker table. And when he told me he wanted me to trust him with everything, trust him with my life, trust him with my plans, I said, okay. So I got all my poker chips, and my poker chips represented my life, represented my purpose, represented everything pertaining to me. And I got all those chips and I put it on his side. And I said, okay, I trust you. I trust you. What do you want me to do? I'm not going to wrestle. What plans do you have for me in my life? And God got all the poker chips, including his. He got all of it. And he said, I'll get back with you, and walked off. And I'm like, what? Wait a minute. You told me what not to do, but you're not telling me what to do. I had no clue. And so now I'm like, oh boy, Lord, look, I'm trusting God, but I don't know what to do. You didn't tell me anything. And so long story short, one Friday, I'll never forget, one Friday, I went to the mailbox and I got 2 letters. One for TCI Cable Company, and the other one was for the Dallas County Sheriff Department. So, hey, I got the letters and I went into my sister's room and I opened it up and it was the TCI Cable Company. I opened it up because I'm excited. I'm like, yeah, that's what I want to do. That's where I want to do. That's where I want to go. So I went on and I opened up that letter, and the letter stated, we received your application, but I'm sorry you're not fit for the position that we were looking for. And I was so crushed. I was devastated because I had all my plans and my hopes, my desires aimed in to working at TCI Cable Company because, number one, I love hooking up electronics. Also, the benefit of having free cable and half off on pay-per-views for wrestling. Excuse me. So when I got that letter and I read it, I was so heartbroken. I got that letter from TCI Cable Company, and I got the unopened letter from the Dallas County Sheriff Department. I balled it up and put it in the trash. I felt defeated. I felt like crap. And I didn't know what else to do. So I'm up here just beat myself up, and I was, God, what do I do? I'm up here just talking to God. God, what do I do? What do I do? And one thing led to another. God told me to go into the trash can and get that letter from the Dallas County Sheriff Department. And I'm like, look, if TCI Cable Company not going to hire me, what made me think the Dallas County Sheriff Department going to hire me? And God told me, open it up. And I said, God, I'm tired. I'm tired of being rejected. I'm tired of, having doors closed, getting my hopes up, and all of a sudden it just I fall flat on my face. And God told me I need to learn to face my fears. I'm like, okay. So that letter may have stayed in the trash can for maybe 45 minutes to an hour. So I decided to find the courage to go in the trash can and get that letter. I got the letter and I went back in my sister's room and I opened it up and I read it. And the letter stated, we received your application and we would like you to come in for an interview. What? I was shocked. I was rejected where I wanted to go, but I was accepted in a place I knew nothing about. And so I was like, wow, it just blew my mind. Long story short, I end up going through several interviews and And eventually got hired, and of course, I put in for my first day being January the 4th of 1994. And so fast forward a year or so, no more than 2 years, but maybe about a year, maybe a year and a half later, after I got hired on at the Dallas County Sheriff's Department, TCI Cable Company went out of business. TCI Cable Company, where I was trying to get hired on at, the one that closed the door in my face, they went out of business. And so I'm like, whoa, I was shocked. And I heard God say, you see why I did not want you to work there? I said, okay. But like I said, all the time, now I begin to be on the journey where God was showing me all those options I was choosing, that's not what he had for me. He was showing me where I did not need to be, but he did not show me where I needed to be. And so long story short, TCI Cable Company went out of business, and I was like, wow. And then 2001, like I said, those that know me, I wanted to wrestle. Like I said, I wanted to wrestle with Sting in Atlanta, Georgia, WCW. Well, one Saturday, 2001, World Championship Wrestling, WCW, got bought out by WWE. At the time, it was WWF. In other words, they went out of business. And I was like, wow. Once again, TCI Cable Company, and then now WCW Wrestling out of business. And I'm like, wow, Lord, thank you. But he did not tell me. He still hadn't told me what he wanted me to do. And so with me, I believe in talking to God, being real with God, just having a conversation with God. And I was like, God, what do you want me to do? What are the plans you have for me? Not so much of, oh, well, I'm worried. No, my main reason why I communicate with God, I want to make sure I'm in the right rhythm. I want to make sure I'm in the right steps with God. So 2001, like I said, WCW went out of business. And long story short, 2014, I went to a wrestling event and met Kevin Von Erich, and I was like so ecstatic, and I had my son with me, and I ended up meeting another wrestler, and I was talking to him, and I told him I remember Kevin Von Erich first match, and he said, he looked at me, and I told him I used to want to wrestle. He said, man, you can go ahead and wrestle, you still young, blah blah blah. I said, nah, I said, I'm older now. At the time I was maybe 47, 46, somewhere around there. And I said, that plus, I work full time. I'm a father, but also I'm a minister, and I stay kind of busy. He said, you're a minister? I need you to pray for me right now. Now get this. This was a wrestler that did not look like me, that was not an American. He told me to pray for him. And I was like, wow. So I began to pray for him, and long story short, that night, that was Father's Day of 2014, that Saturday night, Sunday morning, all of a sudden, in my dream, God came back just like he was in the vision when he left from the poker table. This time God came back, and he said, the reason why I did not want you to wrestle, number one, it wasn't so much I did not want you to be in the wrestling company. The reason why I did not want you to wrestle, because I want you to be the chaplain to the wrestlers. I want you to be the chaplain to the entertainers, not just those that are in the wrestling field. In the meantime, I had always prayed to God, what was my purpose? God, why you have me working at the sheriff's department? Why am I working there? And he said something so profound, it stuck with me. God told me, I got you working in the jailhouse to prepare you for the church house. So long story short, I said all that to say this. For me to not know what in the world plans God had for me, I had no idea. But one thing about it, for me to be able to talk to God, be real with God, and don't make a move until God moves. And also just follow his lead and follow. Look, if you don't know where you're being led to, if you don't know if it's your feelings, your emotions, if it's God's voice or God's leading or the devil's leading, I would suggest for you to just be real with God and talk to God. And so now, fast forward, that was 2014 on up to now. I can honestly say I have been blessed by Dallas County. I have been blessed by the people I've met at Dallas County. Not just the supervisors, not just the co-workers, not just the many staffs, but I can honestly say even some of the inmates have been a blessing to me. One of the things I believe in is for us to always keep our spiritual eyes and ears open, for us to look at everything as a teachable moment. Even some of the greatest lessons are often unspoken. Why? Sometimes God will put you in position for you to hear wise counsel. If you check your ego, if you humble yourself, you'll be surprised the people that God will use to minister to you. And so I'm very, very grateful. Yes, one of my supervisors, and I can honestly say a great young man, Minister Elder, Minister Aaron, thank you so much. You know, I have been blessed. And like I say, I tell people, when I go to work, yeah, the environment, it could be toxic. Yes, the environment, sometimes it is toxic. And the toxic environment is not all caused by inmates. But one of the things I'm a firm believer in, what God told me to do, be responsible for my actions and my reactions, not somebody else's. I'm not responsible for others, but I'm responsible for myself. And also, whatever I do, even if it comes down to me working with problematic people or liars, or people may try to, throw some accusations or whatever like that, God always told me to make sure that I give it to him, and also make sure that I do things unto him. Make sure I do my part in doing my job. Make sure I do my part, which I have to say this. Doing my part, even being on time and being a man of my word. Those that know, and I don't mind, the Bible tells us to, confess our faults one to another. Also, confession is good for the soul. One of the things I always had a problem with, ever since I was small, was being on time. Being on time. Yes, I was known for being late. Yeah. And one of the things that really hit me for a number of years, I got to set an example. Not just because I'm one of the senior officers that are there, but also I'm supposed to be a Christian. I'm supposed to be the light. So if the light is in a dark area and people are looking at the light, then the light don't need to be late. The light needs to be an example. The light and the salt should be able to reflect some good flavor in the area. But if I'm deliberately, now I can understand if it's where there's an accident or something like that, but am I doing my part in being on time? Am I putting forth an extra effort? And I can honestly say, I was not. But God dealt with me, and I realized, I'm like, you know what? When it hit me, it really hit me. Now, shoot. Those that know me, yeah, I get to work extra early now. I sit in the parking lot for me to talk to God, for me to pray, for me to make the videos or whatever like that. And for y'all that don't know, most of the time I'm in the parking lot because I'm there on time, there before time. I make my videos before I get ready to clock in, and hey, thank God. So yeah, part of my responsibility is being an example to you all. Part of my responsibility is being an example even to my son. Now, I'm going to say this. Even when I came down to when God told me that he was preparing me, so he wanted me to learn, allow the jail to be a spiritual boot camp. One of the things I found out, I didn't know everything he had planned for me. I didn't know that I was going to be preaching. I had no idea. But when he started putting in my spirit, when he started dealing with me, I ain't gonna lie to you, I made some excuses because this kid right here, I'm not the talker in the family. I'm not. I have, it was a total of 5 of us. It was 4 boys and 1 girl. Everybody know my sister Sheila. Sheila was my mouthpiece. Sheila was my sidekick. So Sheila was one, hey, look here. If there was going to be a preacher in the family, I mean, first look at my older brother Jerry. My older brother Jerry is the more influential one. People know him. Everybody in their dog know my brother Jerry Prater. Or Chicken Man, whatever they want to call him. Yeah. So everybody knew him. He was the influential one. He was the talkative one. He was the spokesperson for the family. The charismatic one, he was like all of my Jerry, Ronnie, Sheila, all into one, into him. So I'm looking at, hey, if it ain't the first one, if it ain't the second one, if it ain't the 4th one, if it ain't the 5th one, it got to be one of them. And God said, no, you. And I'm like, me? All the excuses in the world. I did not like to talk. I had insecurity about my voice. I was insecure about myself. I used to have a speech problem. I was in reading improvement. I hated to read. I hated to hear my own voice. And plus, I got nervous talking to people. I used to get nervous looking in the mirror and talking to myself in the mirror. I couldn't do that. But I always felt comfortable talking to my sister Sheila and also talking to God. But he said he had worked for me. So now, here we are. 2024. January the 4th, 2024. 30 years. And for me to be able to be in my calling, be in my purpose, whether it be ministering in the church, outside of the church, in the streets, at Walmart, on Facebook, on YouTube, or whatever. It doesn't matter. I said all that to say this because there may be somebody who may feel like, I don't know my purpose. I understand. Look here. This dude right here, I understand. I fell out of my comfort zone. I fell out of my arena because I wanted to be in the arena, in a ring wrestling. And now, being able to know people in the entertainment industry, to minister to them, to call them or they call me or whatever. Look here, I want you to know God can reveal to you the plan that he has for you that will blow your mind. I ain't gonna lie to you. After everything I went through in my life, and now for me to be able to be on this side, look, my worst day on this side outweighs my best day on the other side. I literally pinch myself. I hit myself sometimes because I'm like, God, thank you. Even if I don't have the financial security that I desire, but I have spiritual security. I have emotional security. I know who I am, but I know whose I am. And so with that, I want to encourage you, just in case you may be trying to figure out, God, what is my plan? What is the purpose you have for me? I'm telling you, talk to him, consult with him. The Bible tells us some things come by prayer and fasting. Sometimes you have to show God that you are sincere and push away the plate for you to be able to have your spiritual ears and spiritual eyes to be open for you to hear God's response. Allow God to talk to you, and I'm telling you, God will tell you or lead you what to do. If God can do it for me, and that's the main thing I always tell people, I'm no different than you. If God can do it for me, he can do it for anybody. But it takes commitment. It takes sincerity. It takes for you to trust God with everything. Look here. I gambled. I gambled. I risked it all. I gave God all of my poker chips. But guess what? He gave me more than what I gave him. And so with this, there are some things that I have planned. There are some things I don't want to say yet. I don't like tipping my hand, so to speak. There are some things I'm working on for the upbuilding of God's kingdom. Now, the important question: am I retiring? I'm not retiring yet. I'm going to be. Let's just say, I'm definitely going to be keeping y'all posted. Now, I don't want to set a time frame. I don't want to set a time frame. Let's just say, when ministry goes, I go. I just say that. And so right now, God still has me planted, assigned at the Dallas County Sheriff's Department, and the first thing I'm gonna do when it is my time to retire, there's a specific person that works at the Sheriff's Department. I'm gonna be talking to my supervisors. I'm gonna talk to them, and talk to my son first. Then I talk to my supervisors, and then after that, I'm gonna get on here live to tell you all. But for right now, I am still working. Actually, yeah, I am still working. I'm going to be consulting God more about some things, and I got some things planned. I have some things lined up that I'm going to be doing, and hoping and praying that I come back on here next week with some news, some updates, and I'm not going to have y'all. I'm not going to have y'all waiting long. I'm going to let y'all know exactly when. Like something. Want to make sure I'm still working. Okay, good. Okay, cause I had my picture stood still, but I'm gonna definitely let y'all know when I'll be leaving, and also for my retirement party. Everybody's invited. I'm just grateful. I'm grateful to God for him allowing me to be a part of his program. And also, I thank you all. Many of you all have ministered to me. Many of y'all have helped me, has encouraged me. And I don't take it lightly. It's my responsibility to be the man of God, to be the example to you all. And if it's me being a big brother, or being a son, being a father, or a mentor, or whatever to you all, whatever God allowed me to be to you all, and what y'all accepted me to be, hey, that's why I'm here. And the most important thing, I want to make sure that my life pleases God, and when people see me, when people hear me, that they don't see me, they see him. And that was one of my prayers. That was one of my many prayers I prayed, for me to be able to live a life where people can see Christ in me, and people can, I don't have to tell a person, well, I'm saved, I'm a minister. Look here, I don't do that mess. I don't do that. I don't have to tell a person I'm a minister. I don't have to tell a person that I'm a preacher. No, I want to live a life where people can come to me. People are asking me, and truth be told, that's one of the reasons why I adopted the name Brother Prater. I don't need no title. I don't want no title. What I want is not the title. I want the position where God gets the glory. And so, with that being said, just in case, like I said, you're asking God for your purpose, seeking God for your purpose, the plan, you asking him for the plans for your life. Look, don't stop. Even if it seems like there's no movement, even if it seems like you haven't heard anything, look, keep trusting God. Keep consulting him. Keep going to him. Keep going to him. Keep going. Find scriptures that supports, what your request is. If you're looking for your purpose, if you're looking for your identity, if you're looking for, which direction to go or whatever, find scriptures that support what you're asking God for. But also making sure that you live the life where if God reveal it to you, you read it right then and there. You always be ready. Matter of fact, I remember I went to. Matter of fact, I can say this. I remember years ago, they were having my coworkers, my friends were having a birthday party for me. It was Myron and Courtney Huff. They were having a birthday party for me at their apartment, and she was pregnant with her first child. And so what she did, she had, because she was already like due at any day. But what she did, she had already made arrangements at the hospital, but she had the luggage right at the door. Well, just in case something happened where she ended up, going to labor, she ended up having some contractions or whatever like that, the luggage was already by the door. And I'll never forget that. That's the way we have to be in life. We have to be ready. We ask God, many of us are asking God, I need you to do this. I need you to do that. God, I want this, I want that. But many of us ain't ready to receive what we're asking God for. So asking God to help us to be ready. Be ready. Be ready at all times. If you have to get ready, then you're going to be too late. You want to make sure that you are ready. And so with that being said, I just want to encourage each and every one of you all. Please, please, please seek God like never before. Obey what God tells you. Look here, you cannot be blessed by God by walking in disobedience. Accept Jesus Christ, your personal Savior, and trust Him, but also live a life where God can trust you. And so with that being said, I thank you all for the acknowledgments. I am so, so, so honored. I love each and every one of y'all dearly. I'm going to go ahead and get ready to wrap up. I have some things I have to do. And matter of fact, while I'm on here, I'm going to acknowledge. I'm going to read some of the comments right quick. Okay. Am I retiring? No, ma'am, not yet. Not yet. I'm not retiring yet. Thank you. First Lady Pendleton, thank you so much. Miss Crystal Floyd, thank you so much. Also, I'm definitely going to continue to be praying for Derek. Also, I'm asking even for my Facebook friends and family to continue to keep up a dear friend of mine and their family, Derek and Crystal Floyd. Keep them up before God. The devil is defeated. The devil is a lie, and we're going to continue to seek God and thanking and praising God for Derek's healing and wholeness. Like I said, Elder Aaron, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Mr. Shaw, thank you. I received that. Miss Dan Rich, thank you so much. I'm honored. I'm gonna get ready to wrap it up, because when it come down to ministering and everything, I thank God for it and I love it, But when it come down to sometimes talking about this guy right here, I rather I kind of shy away from that, unless God lead me while I'm ministering, or using myself as an example to throw myself under the bus, But I'm so honored. I thank each and every one of y'all so much for everything, and I want y'all to continue to give everything to God, trust God with everything and for everything, and know that no matter what it looks like, when you continue to trust God, He will work everything out. Just trust Him and obey Him and do what He tell you and watch things happen. So with that being said, I love you all. No, I'm here for you all. And, I'm accessible. Those who may want prayer, those who may want advice, or whatever, y'all welcome to contact me. My number 214-908-3056. 214-908-3056. And like I said, I thank each and every one of y'all. Each and every one of y'all have played a huge part to help me to become the man that I am today. Moving from a 21-year-old kid starting off working at the sheriff department in the jailhouse that never been to jail himself, now 51. And also one more thing I do have to say, my first 2 years working for the sheriff department, on my evaluation, it was always, he's a good worker, blah blah blah, but he just needs to talk up. I did not talk very loudly. I was soft spoken. I've always been that way. And so now God has allowed me to be able to know how to turn the volume up to get the point across. See me? So I'm honored. I'm honored, and oh man, I wish I could remember everybody. I do not want to start naming people because I end up forgetting it. But oh man, it's so many people throughout the years. My training officers, throw it to work with me on the 3rd floor, on the 4th floor. I'm saying, good friend of mine, man, I love dearly, Chris Mays. Thank you so much, Billy House, Deborah Freeman, Miss Coleman, Phyllis Coleman. So many. Oh man, Mr. Champ, Miss Baxter, Miss Morgan. We recently lost her less than a year ago, and Mr. Morgan, thank you. I mean, man, oh man, so many people. Like I said, Mr. Aaron, my supervisor, my current supervisors, Sergeant Peels, Sergeant Ramirez, Sergeant Vollmer, supervisor, Mr. Lynn, and Miss Reynolds now. So many people, Miss Adams, formerly Miss White. So many people has helped me throughout the years. Miss Holder, Mr. Holder, all these people. So many people. I really, really, really appreciate you all so much to helping this kid to become the man that can be used by God, but also be loved by God and be loved by so many people. So I thank y'all so much. Continue to keep me up before God and know that the best is yet to come. In Jesus' name. God bless y'all. Good night. Take care.